Oh, that's sweet Aaron Berger, my little lucky leprechaun. If you saw me do that little post on Facebook earlier, I have known Aaron really for almost going on 2 decades, and I loves him more with each passing year. But if you don't love your computer, you have to take a serious look at what we're doing right now. First and foremost, it's so funny, my allergies are off the chain. My crew is so sweet, I said, I need Kleenex. Well, you know what? This computer has one up on me. It can't catch a virus. Let me say that again. It cannot catch a virus. So that's number one. I didn't want to bury the lead. For the first time in history, we are not only doing the famous HP, #1 brand at HSN, #1 brand when it comes to laptops in America, #1 brand when it comes to processors, more memory, more RAM, more stuff than ever before, and for the first and only time, for this show and this show only, because I gotta tell you, we've already sold out of a couple of colors. You can choose it with Microsoft Office for a year or without. Now, I will tell you, overwhelmingly, I would say probably 3/4 of you are selecting it with Office. So here's the value in black and white, blue and white if you prefer. Almost $1,000 or $800 and change with Microsoft Office, and truthfully around $650 without Office. The big thing for me though is whether you want power, whether you want speed, whether you want portability, whether you want the same kind of sound that they put into those Beamers, those high-end automobiles, those high-end sound systems, we're doing that. We're doing touch screen. We're doing Backlit Keyboard. If your mind is not spinning, I don't know what, because those are features that we only put in our computers. Well, you saw that retail value that really start at closer to $1,000. So here's what we have left. I'm gonna get right to the chase because like I said, my lucky charm has all the details. Now, we do have the blue out here just for demonstration's sake, but the blue is completely gone. And then Allison, she is the all-seeing, all-knowing Oz for me for the next 2 hours. What is the breakdown? Which color is going to sell out next? Will it be the silver or the white? Okay. It looks like the white will be the next one to go. A lot of you may or may not realize, kind of incidental, but white is actually more expensive as a color for electronic manufacturers to produce. And then of course we've got our beautiful classic silver. You get so many great features here. I'm gonna just go right to my little lucky charm, as I say. Aaron Berger is here with us, and Aaron, you know I'm a big fan of yours. I'm obviously a big fan of HP. If there was a time in history where we need a high performance laptop that doesn't break the bank, we need this. I mean, certainly as we continue through 2021, I think the idea of doing more from home, whether it's virtual doctor's visits, whether it's, seeing our family and friends instead of once a year at Christmas, flying home with the big plane ticket, we're actually connecting with family and friends more frequently. And who knows, maybe even some of the school systems will, allow the kids to do more of their learning from home. Bottom line, we need a great computer, and this one really checks all the boxes, doesn't it?
I keep hearing that, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard many people say, kids aren't going to go to school sick anymore if they don't feel well. Now we know how to go virtually. And I think it's whether it's true or not, it's an interesting idea. Certainly there are things we will learn from this, that we will use. I'm like you, I Zoom with my family once a week now, and I love it. And it's something that we didn't really do. I guess we didn't really know how to do it, frankly, a year ago. So there certainly are things. We'll keep the good and hopefully get rid of the parts, that haven't been awesome. Thank you for having me on your show, Shannon. Thank you for posting that hilarious St. Patrick's Day picture of us today. I hadn't seen that for years, and it really made me giggle. So I needed that, and thank you. You guys are going to hear Shannon, my good buddy Shannon, and I talk a lot about a computer that we're both just kind of nuts over. I mean, it's just so easy to use. I really believe Chromebook is the easiest operating system anywhere. If you can use a phone, a smartphone, an Android phone, you can use this computer. You really can. In fact, earlier today, we were doing Facebook Live, which is for some of our shows, you can go on Facebook and you can ask questions and we answer them. And someone else said, I think his name was Joe. He said, I bought this for my dad. My dad's a senior citizen. I said, Dad, use an Android phone. You're going to have no problem at all using this computer. It's so simple. So you'll hear us say Chromebook a lot. And some of you might be sort of wondering, well, what is a Chromebook? That's, they're holding up this beautiful laptop and look at it. If you went to the mall and bought a laptop that looked like this, a laptop that was 14 inches, that was this thin and light with this beautiful high definition screen, a laptop that, do you guys realize? Touch screen, that means it's really easy. Let's get a closer look at our handsome friend, Adam Freeman. It means you can always see as much of Adam as you want. You can see every detail. You can read every word. Like you can see that says, look who's, you might be able to see that says, look who's here. There, you definitely can now. But look, when I go all the way, you can see, check out a few of our favorites, right? You can read there's no such thing as small print. With a Chromebook, what you're getting, what is a Chromebook? A Chromebook is a laptop. You can do everything you do on every other laptop, which means you can surf the web. You can watch Netflix or Hulu or Prime. You can download your favorite programs, your QuickBooks and your Microsoft Office and your favorite games, Among Us, and all of your favorite games, all of your favorite programs. You can use the webcam to talk to your friends and family. You can do Google Classrooms if you're a student and your school is using Google Classrooms like so many schools are doing. So a Chromebook is a laptop. You're familiar probably with PCs. PCs are laptops that have the Microsoft Windows operating system, right? You're familiar with Macs. Macs are laptops that have the Apple iOS operating system. And now, maybe just as of today, you're familiar with Chromebooks. Chromebooks are laptops that have the Google Chrome operating system. That's all. It's that simple. You might be interested to hear that they are the largest growing segment of the computer industry. I mean, people are crazy about them. Now, there's 3 reasons why you should buy a Chromebook. There are 3 advantages. I mean, at least 3, but 3 big ones. We call them the 3 S's: speed, simplicity, and security. Number 1, speed. There's virtually no setup or startup time. They are instant. So when you set it up, you log into your Gmail account or your Google account, and all of your email is all of a sudden there. All of your photos are all of a sudden there. All of your maps and all of that kind of stuff. If you don't have a Google account, you just create a free one. It's very, very easy to do. So that's the first thing, is speed. Let's take a look at that still again. Thank you. Perfect. You guys were ahead of me already. Simplicity. You're perfect. Easily access the Google apps you already use. So what are the Google apps you already use? Things like Google Earth, things like Gmail, things like Google Docs, things like Google Drive and Google Calendar and Google Photos. Those are all free. Many of you use those already on your tablet or on your smartphone. Now you can download them for free on your computer, and they all talk to each other, so all your information is in the same place. It's awesome. But not just your Google apps. You can download all the Microsoft Office apps there. You can download, in fact, over 1 million games, apps, movies, music, programs, you name it. The Google Play Store is the #1 app store in the world. We'll spend some time with that throughout this presentation. I'll show it to you. And then, of course, security. And this is probably the single most important one. See what that says? Built-in virus protection and automatic background updates. Let's talk about both of those. Built-in virus protection means you never have to buy antivirus for your computer. And most importantly, even for me, even more than the money it saves, which is great, it's the time and hassle. It means you don't have to keep up with the security of your computer. You don't have to download updates. You don't have to run virus checks. You don't have to quarantine problem files. It does everything by itself. It has built-in antivirus, anti-spyware, anti-malware, anti-ransomware, no keyloggers, none of those things. No worms, no bots. It's all taken care of. So it is the safest, most secure way you can be online, and automatic updates. Let me explain what this means. Have you owned a Windows computer? Most of us have owned a Windows computer, and most of us have owned them for years, which means we've had to buy many different of the Windows operating system. Windows 7, Windows 8, now Windows 10. So every 3 or 4 years, we had to buy a new Windows computer because there was a new operating system. We were out of date otherwise. That's not how this works. So this is the Chrome operating system. There's not going to be next year a polished chrome, and then the next year an antique chrome, and the next year a oil rubbed chrome. That's not how they're doing it. There is one Chrome operating system, and as it improves, which it certainly will, new updates come, things that make it faster and more robust, and as the way technology progresses, they automatically come to your Chromebook. They automatically load on your Chromebook. And what that means, Shannon, and I know this is a big thing to say, I don't say it lightly, this is a computer that will become faster over time, not slower over time, because the technology is constantly improving.
It's true. In fact, here's an analogy, poor though it may be. Allison, I don't know if you can go to my Facebook or not, but I'll show you the picture that I found in the archives of Aaron Berger, my lucky charm, and myself. So I can guess the year by either my weight or my hairstyle.
I was wondering, I'm going to guess a year. You can guess. No, I'm going to guess, and then you tell me if I was right or not. I think probably 2015, maybe?
Yes. Actually, you're pretty close. When did I go to bangs, and when did I go to like the straight hair? Yeah, seriously. So if you go to my Facebook, you'll see what I'm talking about. And Allison, I don't know if we have time to do that, but my whole point is this. Funny. So guess the hairstyle, guess the year, guess the weight, guess the age. Hairstyles may change. Now, the thing is, I do have girlfriends who've had, the same hairstyle for 20 years, and it's great because it works for them. Not me. I'm blonde, I'm brunette, it's long, it's short, she's got bangs.
Keep us guessing.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Your operating system is always a classic. So remember, it's always upgrading. So while I have to go to the hairdresser and say, I want the highlights, I don't want the highlights, I want it shorter, I want it longer. I have to, the onus is on me. I need to change that style, and maybe it's time for another one. This upgrades itself on its own with no viruses, with no security issues, nada. You do nothing. You do nothing. So bangs or no bangs, big bottom, small bottom, doesn't matter. It updates itself consistently. By the way, I do hope you find and like me at Facebook, because not only do I try to do some of those throwback photos, but more importantly, it's a way to connect. Aaron has a wildly communicative and avid social media community as well. But I guess my whole point is, if you don't have the right computer, it matters not. My nephew, through the course of this whole craziness, you are looking at the specs that his school system in Morris, Minnesota said, we want you to have a Chromebook, we want you to have an HP. When I say check all the boxes, don't let that price fool you. Remember, it is for this show and this show. A couple of other things, if you are channel surfing, we are taking $120 off only until 12 midnight. So we are taking $120 off until 12 midnight. At the bottom of your screen, you are seeing what is called a Flex Pay. Now, Flex Pay, probably guess it's not like a layaway program. You could use PayPal, your major debit card, you could use Apple Pay, and basically get the Office. Overwhelmingly, most of us are doing the Office, because if you do the Flex Pay, it's only $10 more. Those are interest-free payments. You still get our 30-day return policy, so there is no restocking fee. So you could get this in your hot little hands and give it a whirl, and maybe you do a virtual doctor's visit. Maybe you do some Zoom meetings. Maybe you connect with family and friends. Maybe the kids use this to do some of that e-learning. Whatever it might be, get it at home and get it today. And Allison, if you have time to put the 12 months interest payments in our teleprompter, that would be really helpful. Although I do have a calculator out here, I could probably do the math on my own. But I don't trust myself. That's why I have somebody else do my taxes. I figure if I've got checks, I've got money. So, Allison, if you could put that in the teleprompter, that would be lovely. No restocking fee, 30-day return policy. But once more, if you want the version with Office, I can't encourage you enough. Do it now. And in particular, if you want the version with Office in the white, then I definitely would recommend that you do that now. So thank you so much for your orders. I know you're listening and learning a lot. I know there's a lot going on in the control room, so I have to show off my darling friend. There he is in all his glory. The other thing about that, though, Aaron, is when we organize not only our photos and our files and all of those great things that we need in the world in which we live. If you don't have a computer that has speed, that's one thing, but let's just talk about the elephant in the room, and that's why I mentioned it right away. The fact that unlike my hairstyle, it updates itself and it is always its optimum best and fastest without you lifting a little finger. But the other thing is you don't worry about viruses. One of my dear friends, she has been working from home like a lot of us have been. Something got in her computer, something that she didn't intend. She's not going to weird websites. She's working from home. She has some, her little boy is e-learning from home. So in the world in which we live, whether it's a virtual doctor's visits, whether it's just, searching to see who won the baseball game, things can get into our computer. So this means the best of all worlds. I get speed, I get performance, I get upgrades that you don't lift a finger for, and I also get that security, don't I?
Yeah, it means feeling safer. It means feeling more secure because your computer literally cannot get a virus. You don't have to worry about viruses. You don't have to worry about spyware or malware or ransomware or any of those sort of things. So not only is the computer easier to use because it is the Chrome operating system, which just makes things a pleasure, the computer is also safer to use. So when you put those things together, when you have a computer that is faster, a computer that is safer, a computer that is easier to use, it's just a slam dunk.
It is.
It's just a win-win.
I'm so sorry. I just,
that's okay, love. Go ahead.
My producer, Allison, she's a mutual friend. She wears a lot of hats in the studio. Well, she's a mom, so she's used to it. But I did just get a quantity update on the white with Office. So the white with Office, just because I don't want anyone to be disappointed, there are 500 only with no back order or no wait list. Okay. So just wanted to, get those little housekeeping issues out there because I know people like to listen and learn with Aaron, as do I. Just remember, it is your last show. We raised the price by $120 at midnight. If you do our 12-month VIP financing, meaning if you already have an HSN card, if you do the version with Office, that makes it only $37.50 on your credit card. If you do the version without Office, it's only $33 on your credit card. So 500 of you, we welcome you in, can get the version in white with Office. So Aaron, sorry to derail that train there. I just know how I feel when they run out of stuff that I want. I drove to a certain store to get tzatziki dip the other night, and I'm like, what do you mean you don't have the tzatziki dip? So with that...
I'm surprised you didn't make tzatziki dip,
do you know what? I normally do. It's funny you say that, but...
It's a lot of work, though, right?
It is a fair amount of work. And you know what? That's actually a pretty good analogy for this. When we talk about building a computer like this, HP does this just for us. They do put a lot of work on the front end for our customers. The last time we did anything like this, it actually outpaced demands and it was sold out so early. Our team worked really hard to do this in celebration of HP, our celebration month and anniversary in March. Let's talk about some of the decided differences and upgrades that HP does just for us, even though they are sold elsewhere, obviously.
I would love to. So here's some great things about this. First of all, I should mention, Chromebooks are made by people other than HP, but HP is the only company in America that's the #1 selling laptop brand. So you're getting a Chromebook from #1, the best of the best. HP also makes Chromebooks that have other processors in them, but this one has the Intel processor. Intel is the #1 processor company in the entire world. So this is all the #1s. It's the #1 computer manufacturer in America. It's the #1 processor in the world. And in fact, you know what? We have a little video on the Intel Celeron processor that I'd love to show you guys now. The Intel Celeron processor is really built for great, fast, everyday computing. So for those of you who are schooling from home, working from home, for silver surfers, this is a great computer for silver surfers. Value and versatility, smooth running apps, email, web browsing, video, the things that we love to do every day, less waiting and more doing. I don't know if I've said this, 13.5-hour battery life, 13.5 hours. It weighs only 2 pounds. So I know that well, I don't know that we all, but I think the vast majority of us are stir crazy. I mean, I'm ready to get the all clear to go out when it's safe, when it's time. My parents, thank you, Lord, just got their second vaccination. I'm so happy for that. I hadn't seen them for a year. Pardon me, but when we all get the sort of all clear, just begin to be out and about and on the go again, I think most of us are going to be like, deuces, see you later. I'm going to the coffee shop. I'm going to the park. I'd just be happy to go sit at the neighbor's house, just somewhere else, right? We're ready for that. When it's time to be on the go, there is not a better, more dependable, lighter weight, longer battery life, better value computer from HP, in my opinion, period, anywhere. Some of the things HP does for us, because they know it's so important to our customers specifically, and I should mention, HP is not only the #1 selling computer brand in America, they are the #1. We are the #1 selling selling brand, period, at HSN. So I'm talking about for everything HSN sells, for all the great kitchen stuff that Shannon loves to sell and is so good at. I've stocked my entire kitchen watching Shannon, all the great fashion and all the great jewelry and all the great home goods and, the great cleaning supplies, et cetera. As a company, HSN tells us at HP, they sell more HP than any other single brand. And that's why HP does such extraordinary things for this channel. So, for example, a high definition built-in wide angle webcam. So when you're talking to friends and family, you have an even wider view and a beautiful, clear, crisp picture. Now, here's something that you're going to love. It's a hair difficult for me to show, but I think I'm going to be able to do it right there. This has watch the keyboard, a backlit keyboard. So I just turned it off. I think you'll be able to tell when I turn it back on. You press the Alt key and then the screen brightness key. And I think you guys can see there that the lights came on the keyboard. So a backlit, yeah, I think you can definitely see it there, right? So a backlit keyboard, which means you can see this keyboard anywhere. If you're lying in bed at night, and you don't want to turn your desk lamp on or your side lamp on. If you're, again, later when we're on the go again in the library, kids in a dark classroom when teachers have an overhead up or they're doing a presentation on an airplane, certainly. The backlit keyboard is another great thing that HP does for HSN. And this is really cool. I'll talk about this in a minute. I want to explain to you exactly what you get if you're picking it up with Microsoft Office. But just before I do, you get this whole collection of really great offers and software that comes along with it. But the one that I want to focus on is this one right here. It's called VivoPrint. You get free with your purchase a neoprene sleeve. And it's a customized neoprene sleeve. So you go onto this website, you enter the code on the back of the card, and you just upload a picture and look at it. You get a neoprene sleeve. This was our New Year's this year. My family, that's my sister and Noah and Max, we went to the aquarium and had a blast. This is Max just hanging out by the garage, being cool, wearing a smile shirt. So whether it's your kiddos or your grandkiddos or your fur babies, or you want to just choose some of they have some great, just pretty generic patterns that you can choose there as well. You get a customized case. And I think that's such a nice thing because Shannon, you and I both know, when we sell additional things with the computer, the things that always sell the most, almost everybody buys Microsoft Office and almost everybody buys a case. We're including the case for everybody. You have the option today. If you're picking up Microsoft Office here, you're picking it up at a discount. It's less expensive to buy it today in addition than buying it on its own. And also to be real clear, here's what you get. You get a lot when you decide to do this with Microsoft Office. You get all 7 of the Microsoft Office programs. So Microsoft Word, Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, Microsoft OneNote, Microsoft PowerPoint, and Microsoft Publisher. Again, Outlook, Word, Excel, Access, OneNote, PowerPoint, and Publisher. You get them for a full year, full versions of the programs for 3 devices, for a computer, for a tablet, and for a phone. So that's a lot of computing power. And the nice thing about having them for your tablet, your phone, and your computer is you can be, working all day, or your kids can be working or whatever on their computer. Maybe they're working on a Word document. And then when you go to the orthodontist later in the afternoon and you've got 30 minutes to blow, you can pull out your phone and do a little bit of proofreading on it or work a little bit more, because all of the devices, especially Google devices, work with each other so well across platforms, but it's okay if they're not Google devices. You can use it on your Chromebook, you can use it on an Apple phone, on an iPad, or any combination of those things, and they'll all interface together.
They will indeed. So here's what's happening. First of all, welcome into HSN. Happy Sunday Fun Day. I'm Shannon. I'm here with my darling friend. I call him my lucky charm, Aaron Berger. And this is your final opportunity on what we call our today's special. You can probably fill in the blanks even if you've never watched us before. That price is only good for the next 90 minutes. Now, at the stroke of midnight, we raise the price by $120. And incidentally, that's on whether you're choosing your HP, your today's special, with Office or without. Now, the other thing about this is HP is our #1 brand. That's why we celebrate HP throughout the month of March. HP is the #1 name in laptop computers in America. You get the #1 operating system. You get, well, not only that, the #1 processor, but you get an operating system from the Google family where you can't catch a virus. But to put this in perspective, if you went to, say, that other big brand, and we do sell that other big brand, we sell that other big brand in laptops. First of all, to get what they call kind of their thin and lightweight series with the 14-inch screen, I have sold countless tens of thousands of them on the air without a touch screen for $1,400. They're a great computer. I'll just tell you that right now, they're a great computer. But they're about $1,000 more without Office, without a touch screen, without Bang & Olufsen. The other thing about that is, and they're fantastic computers as well, but here's the other thing I want you to put in perspective. That other company, that other brand, I've got one of their phones out here. I love my phone. It's like we've supersized your cell phone or your tablet because this is touchscreen. But think about this for just a moment. That other brand does not build that laptop for us. You can go to their store, you can go elsewhere. What we do here with that other brand is we try to get you the things you'd have to buy separately, meaning, you know, the headphones and the case and the mouse, which we love because, again, those are usually hidden costs when you go to their store. I make that analogy because HP, the #1 laptop brand in America, is doing this only for you. Only for you. So if you went even online or otherwise to the big Bullseye, that big buy store, and you said, listen, I saw this on HSN, I saw it with Office, I saw it with Bang & Olufsen sound, I saw it with a high definition, wide screen, wide vista camera, which I'm just telling you, if you're doing Zoom meetings or if you're a teacher, you needn't want that. Even if you're doing a little class reunion, family reunion, everybody doesn't have to snuggle in that one little pinhole on your computer. They did this only for us. So just keep that in perspective. And they did that only for us for this show. So you've got two choices to make. Do you want it with Office or without Office? And as Aaron already clearly described for you, if you do the version with Office, which more than 3/4, over 80% of us are doing, it's actually for 3 devices. So that's #1. Yes, Microsoft Office and PowerPoint and spreadsheets and all that great stuff. And then you choose, do you want it in the silver or do you want it in the white? We have interest-free payments before we raise that price by $120 at midnight. We have 12 interest-free payments if you do our, we call it VIP financing with our HSN card. In either case, you're looking at less than $40 a month. And then just be aware whether you're choosing it in silver or whether you're choosing it in the white. In the white, Allison, is it the last 400 on the version with Office? Okay. If you, oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. We have only 100 without Office in the white, and the final 400 with Office in the white. Holy smoke, I didn't realize it was that limited in inventory. So I guess if you want the white period, we would certainly recommend or hope that you, make your way to some form of ordering in which to get this. Remember, even though we pay it, we give you that free shipping, you still get a 30-day return policy, so you can move comfortably into this. You can try it as you buy it with that first payment of either $80 or $90 respectively. And for whatever reason, if you do decide you don't want it, we even print the return label. So you can send it back to us. We do not charge what is called a restocking fee. So normally that would be around 10 to 15% of that purchase price when you buy it elsewhere. But remember, because HP is certainly a global leader, not just a leader and #1 brand here at HSN, it's really a big deal. As Ron Burgundy would say, he's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal that HP did this just for us. And Aaron, I think that's the reason that when we did a Chromebook with similar options, it outpaced demand. It sold out very early in the day. Those of us who work at night or watch at night did not have the opportunity to grab it. So HP really stepped up to the plate, even though shipping and receiving in a lot of ways has gotten more challenging. A lot of the kitchen and food shows that I was supposed to have, we've had to push them back a little bit. We're just, the world is what the world is. I mean, let's be honest. But the fact that they were able to do this now for this price with these hand-picked, curated features that our buyers and our customers demanded for one day only, and then taking over $100 off the price, not bad, my friend.
This is HP month, and in HP month, we bring it. And even in the toughest of times when logistics and warehousing are incredibly difficult, this is a month that everyone just worked very, very hard to kick this month off, right? So we're excited to have such a successful Today's Special today. We're glad that we still have 2 out of the 3 colors available for you guys, to the folks at HP. We're thrilled to be a part of this. I want to spend a little bit of time. I want to do a couple of things. I want to sort of show you some of how to use the computer, of how it works, and some of the speed and those kind of things. Like I said, it's incredibly intuitive, but just a few little tips. In the bottom left-hand corner, you've got your little app launcher here that launches your app tray. And then if I just slide up, it's like I said, having a touch screen just makes it so easy. These are just some of the apps that I've downloaded from the Google Play Store, but Chrome and Facebook and Netflix, Perfect Piano, Google Photos, Crossy Road, Gmail, Google Drive, Play Store, Disney Plus, HP Printer app, Web Store, Settings, Candy Crush Saga, YouTube Music. You get the idea. There's so much at your fingertips. Now I want to show you something else. I've got a lot going on at one time, so I'm on hsn.com. As you can see here, I've also got the NASA website up. I love to check out the NASA website and read about all the incredible things they're doing there and all the launches and those sorts of things. I've got my email up. Oh, actually, that's Zoom. There's Shannon.
Hello, I'm fixing my hair.
On TV.
By the way, here's another reason to get a widescreen camera, because so I'm fighting with my hair because I have just enough curl in my hair to make my life miserable. I had to sprint down the hall because I'll be honest, I forgot my microphone. So I've been watching my hair expand during this show, and so I'll tell you what, I need the widescreen camera just to police my hair.
I have to say that it's good, having been away from the studio and at my home for a year. It's good to know you're still forgetting your microphone until the last minute. It's good to know that some things have remained the same.
It's true.
Darling.
And Aaron, the famous comb,
and you're oh, there you go.
And the phone, so I can order while I'm on the air.
Okay, how about your shoes? You got your shoes on?
I do.
Good girl.
Now that is surprising.
Okay, just making sure. I had to do a little check, a little welfare check in there. Okay, so moving on to show you guys some of the other things that I've got going on all at the same time. There's my chamois. But look, I've got Facebook up and running over here. I have, check this out, YouTube. So playing videos. Oops, let me open that again. Live streaming on YouTube. At the same time, I had Zoom up. At the same time, I have the NASA website. At the same time, I have hsn.com. That's not all. We're just kind of getting warmed up. I've got PowerPoint. So PowerPoint slides, going from one PowerPoint slide to another, because I know a lot of you guys are picking this up with most of you, in fact, are picking this up with the Microsoft Office suite. So there's that. I've got Microsoft Word up. And then one other thing that I really want to show you and talk about here for a minute is the Google Play Store. The Google Play Store it's a big deal. So the Google Play Store means, oops, let me just get rid of this and pull up the Google Play Store. The Google Play Store is the #1 app store in the entire world. So from the Google Play Store, you can download, all of your favorite apps, all your favorite games, all your favorite music. You see here, some of the things that are available on the Google Play Store are the Google apps, the Google suite that people love so much, like Calendar and Chrome and Docs and the Google Drive, like Gmail, like Maps, like Photos, all of those things now at your fingertips, along with over 1 million games, apps, movies, television shows. So here's the Google Play Store. I'll go up to the games area, and then we have For You, we have top charts, we have kids, we have events, we have new, we have premium, we have categories. So there's the games. You can go to the apps. There's a million apps that you see how fast this is. Well, we have here TikTok, PDF, File Manager, Microsoft Teams, HBO Max. What else is down here? Just tons of stuff. Oh, Google Classroom, I know is something a ton of you guys use, and Google Classroom, of course, is available here. Movies and TV, you can download all your favorite shows, all your favorite movies, all your favorite series are at your fingertips. Of course, you can also do Netflix, and you can do Hulu, and you can do Prime, and you can do Showtime, and you can do Cinemax, all that. And then books. Did you know the Google Play Store is actually the #1 ebook store in the world? You can download more ebooks from the Google Play Store than from any other single place. So the point is, the world is your oyster. You just have so much at your fingertips, which is available to you when you're using the Chrome operating system. I want to spend a little bit of time explaining the solid state drive to you. I will mention this is the single largest solid state or eMMC drive we have ever done, that HP has ever done in a Chromebook at HSN. But I want to check in with Shannon first. Just Shannon,
how
you let me know when I've got it, because that's.
Did you see me on the Zoom? I was getting like.
We've been together a long time.
We
have.
And it's certainly not to be abrupt, because I really do. I love Aaron with all my heart. Even our mutual friend Connie says, Shannon, that Aaron Berger, he couldn't be any sweeter. I think it's the Kentucky in him. Well, he is. He's sweet as sugar. He's my.
There we are.
There's my little Lucky Charm. Like I said, guess the weight. Kind of like at the carnival. Guess the year.
Your hair's pretty red there too, right?
I was actually. You're right.
I don't really remember red lasting very long.
I know. I was red, then I was blonde. So. Things change.
Good.
As we all know, I'm just always so grateful to have you watching here at HSN, and I'm always delighted and grateful to have Aaron in my show. Remember, unlike my hairstyle and my weight, I was the full culprit or counterpart in all of those decisions. The only decision you have to make is, do you want the fastest, smartest, certainly the most affordable Chromebook with the best features that we've ever offered? You want this. Unlike your hairstyle, where you got to go to the hairdresser and say, I decided I want highlights, I want to go darker, I want to go lighter. This is always up to date. So remember, it is always updating itself. So it's always the fastest version. It's always the safest version, because it cannot get a virus. It's from HP, our #1 brand, America's #1 brand, but they, HPs are sold elsewhere. They custom build these computers for us. We are taking $120 off for your price, basically for a little over an hour. And trust me when I tell you, if there are any left, people will buy it for our regular HSN price, just because it's loaded. It's got, let me show you this, and then I'll give you a quick quantity update. It's got Bang & Olufsen sound built in, which I'm telling you, they don't do that for retail. That's what they put in those high-end sound systems and in those luxury automobiles. Look at that nice wide touchscreen or touchpad mouse. That's actually the same size as the most recently upgraded other brand that starts at $1,400 that I presented on the air, which is a great brand. I love that brand too, but it's at the end of the day, it's $1,400. And that version, by the way, did not have a touch screen. So they've upgraded you with the touch screen. It is what I call the Goldilocks size. So it's almost like they supersized my tablet with the ease and the convenience of a touch screen. Anyone who doesn't have a touch screen laptop at home, Just get this. I'm telling you, you won't believe how just that one feature alone is going to change your life. If I had a nickel for every time I've kind of poked or pounded this, my computer screen because I expect it to work like that, because that's how we work our cell phones, you get that. The backlit keyboard. Now notice on the white, and I'm just going to give you a little update right now, the white actually has a white tiled keyboard, which is also something that HP, they really do. They think of you when they build these and when they curate these. Now, you choose it, of course, with the version with Office, or you choose it without Office. So that's your first choice. And then you choose it, do you want it in the silver or in the white? But I'm sorry, I misspoke. If you want the version in white with Office, we have fewer than 400. Okay. I was actually thinking we had more of these than we do for this show. So fewer than 400 if you want the version with Office. If you want the version in white without Office, there are fewer than 100. So we do like to, as a matter of disclosure, just like to share all that information with you, just because I know there's a lot of information to process, and I know there are a lot of things to think about, and do that flex pay, do that 12-month VIP financing, 30-day return policy regardless, with no restocking fee and free shipping. Get it in your hot little hands. I'm serious. Whether you've been working from home, whether you've been e-learning from home, whether you've just been ordering groceries, whether you've been streaming from home, you get this at home, and it really is a game changer. So we are doing this price only for the next, well, actually less than 90 minutes now, and you have ample opportunity with which to really decide if you like it, because again, if you do for whatever reason decide you want to send it back, you can do so. So we've just got 50. Where does the time go, Aaron Berger? I mean, I can't believe there's only 15 minutes left in this show.
It goes really fast.
So a couple of things. Now, you normally do a tour. What would you like to do for us next?
I'd love to talk about the solid state drive for a minute, and then we'll do a tour, and then I'll sort of start over in about 4 or 5 minutes, start over and give you guys, a top to bottom. But I think it bears explaining. So let me explain it to you, and then we have a little video that we'll show. If you look over here on our description about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3 lines down, it says 128 gigabyte eMMC. eMMC is a type of solid state drive. And what that means is the older style memory has been taken out of your computer. So the older style memory was called HDD, hard disk drive. And that HDD, that hard disk drive, actually moved. So when information was saved, or information was stored, or information was copied or pasted or retrieved, or you had to search information, the drive would actually move. It would actually spin and whir. So when it spun, it would create friction, because movement creates friction, right? Friction creates heat, so that's why your computer would get hot on the bottom. There was a what's it called, fan over here that would have to cool that hard disk drive down. So that fan would create a lot of noise. It would also consume a lot of power. So it made your computer noisy. It made your computer hot. It made the battery life on your computer short. It's gone. It's taken out, and in its place is a solid state piece, a solid state drive. And again, this is the largest solid state drive HP has done at HSN on a Chromebook. So it has the most memory. You can store more movies, more music, more games, etc. We have a little video that we'll show you that shows the difference, or excuse me, I should say the improvements, the benefits of having a solid state drive. It's lighter, it's quieter, and it's faster. Faster boot up. Your applications load more quickly. You have a better battery life, about a 13-hour battery life. There are no moving parts, and it's quieter. So all of those things make a big difference. Now watch this for a second. On the left-hand side is the solid state drive. On the right-hand side is the hard disk drive. You see how much more quickly things happen, whether it's boot up, whether it's multitasking several apps at the same time, which I know I've already showed you, but we can go into Facebook, we can go into we can go into YouTube, for example. We can watch hsn.com or any of our favorite shows, and it's basically instant on and off. It's so much faster than other computers are because it has that solid state drive on which we don't have to wait. That also makes the computer lighter. 3.2 pounds, gives a longer battery life, a 13.5-hour battery life. During all of this, you might have noticed I have had the Backlit Keyboard on, so you can turn the backlight on that keyboard off, or I'll turn it back on, and you'll see there's some light there down below, which means you can see it under all conditions. So Shannon, I think the point is, when you buy a Chromebook, you're buying a newer technology. It is a technology that is easier to use. The Chrome operating system is probably the easiest computer operating system to use, period, made only more easy by the fact that this is a touchscreen computer, and touchscreen certainly makes everything a heck of a lot simpler, a heck of a lot faster. The other thing is the security that's built into this. Because it's Chrome, it cannot catch a virus. No viruses, no spyware, no malware, no ransomware. That's all gone. We don't even bring up the discussion of it, really. You don't have to be your computer gatekeeper, your computer technician anymore. You just be the person that loves your computer, that uses Facebook and uses Instagram and uses Zoom and does your banking online and all of those convenient things, plays games, stays entertained, sees your family. But you don't have to be the person who maintains your computer. And to that point, automatic background updates. So the operating system, the Chrome operating system, you're not going to have to go buy Chrome 2 or Chrome 3 or Chrome 4. There's one Chrome operating system that automatically updates for free anytime Google has an update to push. So your computer gets faster over time instead of slower over time.
Well, I wish I could say that about me.
Amen. Isn't that the truth?
You know, if I could lay claim to that, it'd be a good day. But it's going to be a great day when you get this at home. And, mark my words, you're going to be counting those days. We'll zip it off to you, or we can even send it across the miles. If you're thinking this would be a great gift, maybe for that mom who's working from home, that mom with kids who are e-learning from home, we would love to send it your way. Just be aware, we do raise the price by over $100 at the stroke of midnight. So this is your last hour with which to qualify for it. Remember, you choose it with Office or without. So with Office or without, and then you choose it in the silver or the white. I'll do that quantity breakdown in a moment, but here's that retail value. And remember, the retail value is essential, but just one thing about that, this was built for HSN, so just keep that in mind. So we are conservative when we say the version with Office, because that's for 3 devices, remember, is upwards or dancing around that $1,000 price point. We will split up the payments. That's what FlexPay is. Interest-free payments, PayPal, debit card, any major credit card, 30-day return policy. So you've got a month to move into it, to try it as you buy it, with no restocking fee. Meaning, unlike a lot of other retailers, online or otherwise, we don't withhold part of your money for the privilege of returning something. In many cases, that is between 10 and 15% of the purchase price. So if you're grabbing the version with Office, well, that's anywhere from $45 to $60 worth of your money. We don't do that. If you do the 12-month VIP financing, you could actually create 12 interest-free payments, or 12 flex pays if you like. Remember, you are getting that voucher for that customizable case, because you're going to be using that case anyway. And at the end of the day, you're getting a computer that really does enhance your life. And you don't worry about viruses. You don't worry about battery life. That 13-hour battery life is actually a lot longer than my phone. You don't worry about the ease of use, because the touch screen just elevates that experience so much more. It's always up to date. It's always speedy. It's always ultra quick. I know Aaron was talking about the memory. Remember, you could always add your own little memory card if there are certain things. Say, for example, you are working from home and you want to keep work documents on a card, or what have you. I mean, you could do that as well. The other thing about this is, and Aaron, I know, or actually, you could upload that memory. Sorry about that. You could upload that memory and have some fun with that. But Aaron, the other thing is, with the final quantities on the white in particular, so on the white in particular, If you want the version without Office, we have a couple dozen. So the version without Office, there are a couple dozen. If you want the white with Office, we have about 300. So if we were in a traditional store, that might be a lot, but because we're in tens of millions of homes, and that's really not a lot to speak of. Aaron, when I was talking about memory, when I was talking about speed, when I was talking about security and convenience, one thing that I really appreciate about HP as a brand, beyond the fact that they're #1 and they do this only for us, is it does kind of put you in the driver's seat, meaning you get more bang for your buck, it plays well with others, you can really have an enhanced experience without investing the $1,000, the $1,200, the $1,300 that it might take to move into a laptop with these kind of thin and lightweight and long-running features. Is that fair to say? Am is that kind of in the wheelhouse?
Yes. I think HP, and particularly HP's Chromebooks, make those things available to you, give you a fast, a powerful, a simple to use computer. I often say, and I really do mean this, there are certain things where brand just doesn't matter that much. There are certain things I don't know what brand my rug behind me is. I don't care. I like the design on the rug. It's fine. There are other things you buy where brand is really important. Your big electronic purchases, your televisions, your computers, they matter because the bigger companies get access to the best parts. And really, your computer is only as strong as the sum of its parts. So the screens that HP sources, the backlight that HP sources, the memory cards they source, the processors, for goodness sake, the Intel Celeron processor that they source for this. You get access to the best components, so you can expect a computer that lasts longer, that runs faster, that's more secure, that's simpler to use. To that point, we have a still that I want to show you guys, and it'll take me a couple of minutes to talk through this, but I think it's a great summary. I really appreciate our production team who put this still together. It's a great summary if you're making your final decision on which color to get. These are great features to note. This is, and I'll start at the top left-hand corner and go clockwise, and then I'll move over to the image on the right. This is the Chrome operating system. The Chrome operating system means more security. It means it's speedier, it's simpler, and it's more secure. It has the HP wide vision high definition camera built in. So whether you're Zooming like Shannon and I were doing earlier, or Skyping, doing Google Chats, you're good to go. 14-inch high definition. I love the 14-inch size. It's so portable. And remember, we're including the voucher for a 14-inch custom printed sleeve as well. So that's a great way to protect it. And you can put your kids or your pets or your loved ones on there. Full size backlit keyboard, very, very comfortable keyboard to use, and you can always see it because it has a backlight. Audio by Bang & Olufsen with dual speakers. Bang & Olufsen is the best, hands down, the best audio HP does in any of our computers. Our all-in-ones, our very expensive, very high-end all-in-ones. The best of those have Bang & Olufsen. Google Play Store. The Google Play Store allows you to access millions of apps, programs, games, music, movies, all the things that you want. You don't ever have to go to the software store. You don't ever have to search and think, well, where is this? I don't know how to find it. It's really, really simple. Hundreds of thousands of those things, or I should say at least tens of thousands, are free. Books as well, the #1 ebook store in the world. Headphone and microphone combo, so you can plug in a hardwired headset or microphone. You don't have to. Both speaker, of course, and those awesome speakers, Bang & Olufsen speakers, and microphone are built in, but if you want to use an external one, you certainly can. There are a total of 3 USB ports on this computer. There are 2 USB-C ports, super speed ports, and 1 USB, full-size USB-A port. Also a micro SD card reader. If you ever wanted to expand the memory, you can do it that way. You can also do it, you can ask your customer reps about the Seagate expansion drive. We have a 1.5 terabyte Seagate expansion drive that's really, really nice. Intel Celeron processor, built in. The #1 processor company in the world. This is a processor that is built for value and versatility, for more, to get more done and wait less. Great for video, great for everyday email and web browsing, those sort of things. 4 gigs of RAM, that is important for speed online. It's also really important for multitasking, for doing more than one thing at a time. I showed you I'm running YouTube and I'm running all of the Microsoft Office things at the same time. Weighs 3 pounds. It's a 13.5-hour battery. And Shannon, the largest storage HP has done on any Chromebook at HSN, 128 gigabytes. So an extraordinary amount of storage to store your favorite movies, music, games, and photos.
Absolutely. You know, and the bottom line is, well, we always want to give you ample time with which to make your buying decision, but the latest quantity update from my producer is that if you want the white in the version without the Office, we have about 3 dozen. If you want the version with Office, which has been the overwhelming #1, the top choice today, we have fewer than 300. Regardless, the price does go up by over $100 at the stroke of midnight. We have your interest-free flex pays, and we have all of the things that make buying here at HSN just so lovely, and not only in terms of the return policy, but you know, the 12-month VIP financing, and you really do get the cream of the crop. You get the pick of the litter, today and today only. Well, I always pick you, Aaron Berger. Awesome
thank you,
job
Shannon.
today. So
it was really my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Do you get a couple days off before we see you?
I do. I get a couple of days. Actually, my parents are in town. As I said, they both got their second shot a couple of weeks ago. So I haven't seen them for a year, and I get to spend a little bit of time with them tomorrow. So that's what's going on this week. Yeah.
Well, best to you and the whole family. Be safe. We love
Thank you so much,
Aaron. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon. Night, night.
Good night. Hey, well, don't go to bed without selecting this. Remember, tick tock, tick tock. It's not daylight savings time, but I will tell you, when that clock strikes midnight, you're looking at spending $120 more for either choice. Silver or the white. Grab it now, 30-day return policy, no restocking fee, and just jam-packed with goodies. Not the least of which is that touch screen and no viruses. You cannot get a virus with that. Always up to date. The operating system continually updates itself, so it's always uber and super speedy. Hey, grab yours while you've got it. All right, well, I was talking about how my hair has a mind of its own. Thank goodness I've got my 3-in-1 oil. I'm serious, they added it to the show. Corez, it's their last primetime anniversary show.